Welcome to the spooky world of a terrifying text-based adventure. As the eerie winds of Halloween approach, we invite you to embark on a journey of art, the art of storytelling, with the enchantment of code. So it's Halloween, so I thought I'd do a coding video and do a text-based adventure. I thought it'd be good to immerse you and just have a really fun experience with the immense power of Python. Okay, before diving into this juicy adventure, I did want to take a trip down memory lane. Text-based games are a really fascinating part of history, and it goes back to the early days of computers. If you need to become more familiar and you don't know what a text-based game is, or a text-based adventure is, what it is a digital game where you interact with text instead of fancy graphics. These games have been around since the 1960s when teleprinters were connected to massive mainframe computers, which is pretty awesome. One of the OGs in the world is Colossal Cave Adventure. I heard of this in the past, but I did some more digging, which was really fun. And it's old school. It's as old school as it sounds. In this game, you explore a mysterious cave and you solve puzzles and use various items. You get to type one-word commands to make things happen, like moving around, uncovering hidden treasures. It's kind of like a digital scavenger hunt, in my opinion. But let's get back to the game. It's not going to be that complex. It's just very simple. I thought I would go with Corpse Bride, mainly because that's what I'm going to dress up as for Halloween. So the first thing we need to do, like in all coding projects, is pick our language. I thought Python would be perfect, mainly because the first time I really heard about text-based games was in university and when I was learning about Python, so I thought it'd be really good. But there needs to be more reason than that, so why Python? First off, Python is supposed to be a really incredibly beginner-friendly language. So if you're new to programming, it's a really excellent place to start. All you need to do, well, in our version and what we're doing, is create a standard text file and give it the .py extension. I nearly did like the Disney Channel thing, py. And voila, you're ready to start coding. Well, you do need to download something like VS Code, but that's another video. So let's start on this blank canvas of creativity. So Python's charm goes beyond that as well. It boasts an extensive collection of libraries and it makes programmers' lives so much easier. These libraries cover a wide range of functionalities, from handling text and data to creating graphics and games. I remember doing Python in uni and there's so many libraries. I'm like, I just want to put in this library and I can do what they want me to do, but they obviously didn't want us to use libraries, but hey, we're in the real world now, so we can. So what we need to do first is download Python. So what you're going to do is visit the official Python website at python.org to download the latest version of Python. And you need to select which version your operating system is compatible with, whether it's Windows, Mac OS, or Linux, and then it's installation time. Once downloaded, you'll run the installer and you'll follow on-screen instructions. Don't forget to check the option that adds Python to your system's path. This simple step allows you to run Python from the command line or terminal really easily. So to ensure Python is successfully installed, once you open your command prompt on Windows or Mac or terminal, type Python -- version and you should see the installed Python version displayed. I tried to commit to a structure and organize code while writing it. It's not just about aesthetics, having clean, nice code. It's about crafting modular, reusable and scalable solutions. And you might be like, that's a lot of words. Shush. To achieve this though, I've encapsulated the operation of displaying ASCII art with a function named print story intro. So you'll be able to see on the screen what this ASCII art is. This abstraction allows us to weave the enchantment of ASCII art into our adventure, so it's more appealing when the user begins the journey. And also just putting it in a function allows our code to look a lot neater in different parts. And it makes sure it's reusable, even though we're not really using this intro on other parts, but it's a good thing to think about for future code. So adventure without choices is a very mundane tale. I think life without choices is very mundane, not very fun. In this selection, I'm going to integrate decisions into the gameplay. So I present a simple yet critical thing we must do, which is employing inputs, allowing us to take the user input. So in our case, it's yes or no. And we're going to do an input function to ensure that we're getting those responses. This narrative evolves according to your decisions, so we need to think about considerations for how people write yes and no and can express that. This is mainly achieved through conditional statements and through using arrays, which you'll see on screen. So to get this narrative flow is why we use conditional statements, and it ensures the code remains agile, responsive, captivating. So in this, I've defined an array of acceptable inputs. So I've written something called acceptable yes responses. And in that array, there's yes, why, sure, and absolutely. And I've also done it for no responses, which is no, and nope. I'm sure there's more, but that's what I thought most people would probably input. This way, the game is less likely to break, and it ensures that users can have a wide range of responses. For those who don't understand what an array is, it's a data structure in programming used to store a collection of values or elements. These values can be the same data type, so a group of numbers, or in our case, a group of strings like yes, why, sure, and absolutely. This is a concept that really confused me for ages, and now I just think it's really basic. But just think of it as a collection of items. Say I have a purse, and I've decided to put a Bratstall brush, a pick, these are just random things around my desk, a smart TV remote. I've decided to put all these in my bag. They're all there. And I'm going to represent them as a string. So TV remote's going to be a string, guitar pick's going to be a string, and Bratstall brush is going to be a thing. So they're just a collection of things. One thing I did want to discuss is the importance of error handling. In user-friendly experiences and robust applications, error handling is really important. It's not just a technicality, it's a fundamental aspect of software development. Error handling serves as a safety net for our program and prevents unseeable issues from wreaking havoc over the user experience and over our app. It doesn't stop there. It gracefully juggles expectations, keeping our program steady when the unexpected rears run their head. Raise their head. I don't know what I was saying. Our error handling heavily emphasizes offering a smooth and navigatable experience. Error handling messages, or messages aren't just an afterthought. They serve as guidelines, illuminating the path through the dark of our code. A well-structured error message can make all the difference and distinguish whether a user is going to have a good experience. For example, in the application, and when I'm showing you this code, you're going to see that I code for an else scenario. So whether if they input one of the yes options or no options, it handles it. But what if they input an R or a B or an L? We want to be able to handle that so our application doesn't go down and the user's having a really good experience. So that's what I mean by error handling, and it's important. One thing I also do is add a delay for the experience, so the text isn't just showing up on screen all the time or just in one big rush for the user. So creating the perfect atmosphere is really important, especially in these types of games. So the aim is to immerse you in a narrative that grips your soul, and while this game is quite basic, I'm still working on it and I think it's getting there. We don't want to overwhelm a person with just a mass amount of text, like I was saying. So what we do is go time.sleep, brackets, and then we put a number in. I did trial different things. I thought 1 was the best. When I was doing like 3, there was this sense that I was coding the game and I almost thought, is it broken? So we don't want that. That's not a very good experience either. A mere 1 second pause between narratives, I think, makes a huge difference and gives the person time to read. So that's exactly what we'll be doing. When coding this, I did realise there would be a more efficient way to handle my code. I wanted to streamline the process of my code because what I was basically doing is I was printing something and then I was going time.sleep 1, but I was doing print time.sleep 1, print time.sleep 1. And when you're coding, or when you get better at coding, you realize there's just more logical ways to do stuff. This code I'm showing you not only simplifies the input and branching logic, but also allows us to present a storyline in an elegant and time-controlled manner. It's a perfect illustration of how code can make complex tasks seem seamless and engage a player. And we want to be able to go back and read our code and not be just overwhelmed by this text either. Now let's delve into one more crucial element of our game, which is queue, an option and a way to leave. A feature that demonstrates the commitment to providing a really good user experience, because even when I was testing out my code, I wanted to leave it because I'd tested the part I needed to test, and then I realized I need a quit button. But if that didn't give you enough of a reason to be passionate about implementing a quit button, picture this. You're deep in the heart of a story. Your heart is pounding. Your palms are sweaty. There's sweater. There's spaghetti on your sweater. I don't know, I forget the line. As you navigate through the twists and turns of a text-based nightmare, suddenly a real-world interruption beckons you. The doorbell. Perhaps you need coffee. There's dinner happening. So it's best you have a quick and easy way to exit the game without fuss or frustration. That's where our queue option shines. I don't know what this is. To ensure this seamless experience, I made sure to implement the queue option as a graceful exit strategy. If you wish to leave the game at any point, simply press Q and the game will prompt you with a confirmation to assure that you don't want to leave accidentally. You can confirm with either yes or no. This thoughtful feature puts you in control of the player and allows you to access when you want to leave, basically. By introducing the queue option with a confirmation prompt, we prioritize the control and convenience and overall enjoyment of the game. So we're coming to an end. Today we've unraveled ASCII art, we've done player choices, talked about error handling, and woven a narrative of a text-based nightmare adventure. This game can definitely be improved on, so if you want to download the GitHub, it's down below. I would love improvements on my code. It's definitely not perfect. Text games or text-based games are really interesting, and they're a nod to the history of computing and all these great things we can do. And it's a reminder that coding is a fusion of creativity, and it's a journey that can be really fun. The path of crafting your own text-based adventure is amazing, and I encourage anyone to just have fun and take inspiration from anywhere you want. Game development or development of code isn't just about the line of code, it's about creating a new world and igniting your imagination, and I hope I've showed that today with my simple code. Or if it's not simple to you, that's fine. With my confusing code, if that's what it is to you, that you'll learn from and you'll have fun with, because it is creative. So make sure to comment if you've downloaded my repo, or if you've created a text-based adventure of your own, because I would love to hear about it, because I had a lot of fun filming and I had a lot of fun making this video and a lot of fun coding, so I would love to hear your thoughts.